Test 1 2. Sorry, I apparently had my thing turned to the wrong mic. Test 1 2. All right. Nah. Thank you, Facebook user. Yeah, we're all good. We're all good. I have a capture card linked up on my computer, and I didn't realize I still had that one turned on. Whoopsies. Moving on. So, anyway, how's everybody doing, eh? Been a crazy couple of months, hasn't it? For everybody, it seems. So, I wanted to pop on here, make a couple announcements real quick. Well, shit, look who it is. Hi, Brian. Well, actually, look at this. Look who showed up. Look who showed up. Actually, just about to talk shit about you. Anyway, don't worry, just BSing. You know me. So, a lot of shit's been going on lately. Some of you may have noticed that DNTV and Bald and Bonkers have parted ways. Quite frankly, I don't know what the fuck that was about. I didn't even know that happened until I started scheduling shows one day and said I was disconnected on our StreamYard. But it is what it is. So, Chris and I have been talking the last little bit, and he made a very valid point. Us allowing ourselves to get absorbed with a lot of the fighting going on, it's not healthy. Now, granted, there have been some targeted attacks on our part, and the situation has been forgiven but not forgotten. You know, just wipe the slate clean that easy. And no, this is not you, Brian. So, to make a couple of quick announcements, Bald and Bonkers is now slowly getting itself integrated back into Parapost and Paralinks as well, which is a separation that shouldn't have happened in the first place. But you know what? We all make bad decisions. It happens. Bridges are slowly getting mended, and it's about putting in the work, getting the content out there, because that's what we came into this. We make a few friends on the way, awesome. We're gonna make a few enemies just because, quite frankly, there's a lot of people that can't really handle public interaction these days. Seems to have gotten worse because of the pandemic, and if all the experts and mystics are to be believed, apparently by this coming Monday, shit's supposed to really hit the fan. But all in all, that only goes to show that this fighting amongst ourselves doesn't do any good. Times are probably going to be coming up where we're going to need to stick up for each other more than ever. We're going to need to be there for one another. Not lashing out, not making up stuff, not trying to find different websites to make this person look bad or this person look bad, or trying to accuse this person of cheating the social media. No, that does not get you anywhere. And honestly, if I'm not mistaken, some of you that have been contributing to this, I know I haven't been innocent entirely in myself in some of this. But some of you that are doing this, if I'm not mistaken, you're doing your stuff through company issued devices, through your personal jobs, right? Don't you think that while they may be okay with you doing occasional personal stuff when you're not on the clock, that all your activity is getting logged? Because I've worked from home and I did online schooling for technical support reasons. There was stuff to monitor our activity, and if certain things like harassing others online came up, that led to repercussions. We're always getting monitored. In fact, like the whole AI episode we recently just did on Facebook on the show, Facebook monitors all of our shit for the purpose of marketing is the official reason, even though there's a few insiders at Facebook saying that they're not exactly sure what all happens. In fact, there's a lot of discrepancies coming up when it comes to Facebook because they have developed their AIs to the point they can essentially predict everybody's conversations, apparently to scary accuracy. I mean, to give an example, there was this one guy we all used to joke with about getting probed by aliens. Well, a few days of chatting with him more and more, all of a sudden I'm seeing ads on Facebook with t-shirts of an alien abduction saying, "Shut up, bitch, we're going probing." Now, granted, sometimes if you're like me, you've looked into some of the ads you get shown on Facebook, and they probably have more info on me because of it. Like how I mentioned that certain podcasting programs that are coming up now, they can create an audio profile, but just by listening to your voice for about an hour and create entire shows all by themselves and would sound organic. There's an AI program. I honestly want to play with it, but there's an AI program that apparently, if you teach it, tell it to listen to certain artists for, I think it said for like 1,000 hours, you can tell it to write music in that artist's style, and it'll pump out a brand new song that sounds legit. Completely wipes the slate for autotune. Now that I think about it, and there's going to be, and let's face it, with how sophisticated a lot of these programs are getting, and a lot of media platforms are getting nowadays, we're not going to be able to tell the difference. And I've said it before, and I'll say it again several times. And because the more I observe just people in the field, the more I feel it comes to life. A lot of us who get interested when it comes to the supernatural, we're often outcasts for some reason early in our lives. Me, I was a big weirdo obsessed with ghost hunting who was a foot taller than the rest of his class. So, you ever hear that line of advice? I like that. You ever hear that line of advice? You want people to leave you alone, walk up to the biggest guy and knock him out? Well, what are you supposed to do when you are the biggest guy? It seems like that mentality is also getting out there. It's where we're getting upset because other people are being successful and then claiming they're our friends. That's not friendship. And this goes to the same people who are willingly contributing to the gossip, who are willingly listening to other people they say, oh, don't follow them. They're a bad person. They're a bad person. Blah blah blah. They do this. Blah 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 blah. For those of you who are relying on that dynamic to fulfill your own ego, stop and think about how easy it is to get them to turn on people. Because chances are they'll easily turn on you as quickly. I'm not saying this to try to target anybody. I'm saying just step back. Think about what you're doing. Do you really want that to be your legacy in life? Okay? This is me just getting my piece off because I promise to at least be civil and see what happens because we want to extend an olive branch to everybody we've fallen out with. And yes, I mean everybody. So those of you at Parachills, doors open. And Brian, who's actually in the chat, he actually brought up a good idea that it's something that I've been meaning to set up for a while. We have Parapost running through a lot of Brian's stuff is now on the Bald and Bonkers TV network. You can check that out. But we also now have Para Unity TV. As the TV network grows, we want to offer up some free slots to not necessarily to just paranormal. We want to kind of expand because someone I saw on Facebook made a very valid point. The reason why so many of us take on like podcasting, try to get into like TV shows and that is because that's the only way we can build some sort of living through what actually interests us. And you're not going to make buku bucks right away. Maybe if you're some morally ambiguous, barely legal teenage girl, but that opens up a whole other can of worms. But again, that brings me back to my point. We have plans set up to allow book distribution, music distribution. I was just going through the numbers. We have the almost 70 platforms right now set up to distribute our shows. And this is counting our new partners, Paralinks, Parapost, all that. And Brian wants I think after seeing your post about asking about someone who's good with WordPress to reach out to you. Once you get this situation with Parapost set up, fixed out, we'll start working on getting back on there. Yeah, my word. We also have partners that have allowed us to well, this is a new one. I try to be. And anyway, as I was saying, we had now partners for like book distribution and potentially get people out to 14,000 stores. We have an audio distribution partner that also allows for physical CDs that can get almost to 80,000 stores. We have a distributor for video on demand for like streaming services, Vudu, Amazon Freevee, apparently it's called now. Shows how long I've been out of the loop. Gaia, Redbox is on there. There's a few others, but there's like 80 video on demand options for this, which we plan to utilize for the upcoming documentary. And in case there's any people who happen to be voice actors and utilize the website Backstage, if you want to potentially get in on this madness, we do have an open casting call for pitch trailer to help with the documentary. And if you're wondering what that noise is, we got a new kitty. Found her on the side of the road. She seems to be adjusting well. The reason I bring this up is not for bragging, is because we want to try to establish Bald and Bonkers as a platform that gives independent creatives the same kind of backing you would expect from a major marketing, from a major agency, but still let you keep your rights, your creative mindsets. Because when you go to a lot of these bigger companies, sometimes you make compromises that you don't necessarily agree with, especially when it comes to today's political climate. And God, that's only going to get worse if everything that's panning out is going to be true, ends up being true. So, that only backs the point. There's a lot of amazing people out there who get turned off because of this drama that's going on. And we want to extend an olive branch. If you disagree with something that we're doing, let's have a discussion on it. If you think a certain piece of video may be faked, discuss why you think that is. There's certain groups when it comes to these types of investigations that don't like to do speculation because it turns away people who think that, oh, what if they think they're crazy? If we want to prosper and figure out what's actually going on when it comes to supernatural things, we got to be able to speculate because there's certain things I've mentioned before in dealing with my own experiences. Either something very weird is going on or there's something very wrong and that person may need help. Which is also why, on top of a royalty program for anybody who wants to maybe earn a little extra money, don't expect to quit your day job. You know, for those of you in the U.S., you'd be considered a W-9, which is how like Amazon does their authors. We're going to be setting up a royalty program, which everybody who's been sent their forms, please get those to me. I got to get the tax set up for the company by October. And everybody, but anyway, as an onset, we're also setting up a royalty program so people can earn a little extra money by contributing or even contributing their own content. You can be able to get channels on our TV network, and you'll be linked up with us. You'll have Parapost, and you'll have Paralinks, and even doesn't necessarily have to be paranormal content. We got gaming stuff on there. We have a couple cooking stuff, a couple movies. Yeah, it's not a bad little collection. And yes, that also means we're probably going to be selling ad space in order to help make this happen. Because we also want to set up some sort of fund to give it like an emergency, make it like an emergency paranormal fund. I don't know what we're going to call it yet. But what are you doing? Good to see you're getting comfortable. Anyway, sorry, cat. Basically, we want to set up some sort of emergency paranormal fund for investigators who've realized they've come across a case that, maybe the activity is there, but there's much more dark causes. I mean, say like you find out there's a poltergeist activity because relatives of the victim are trying to help them get away from their abuser and they're just not getting the message. I haven't had that happen. So we have a lot of amazing stuff coming up. I'll gonna be popping off here real quick. like I said, be sure to check out all of Bald Monker stuff. We have a lot of amazing stuff. There's a special interview we're doing with David Icke. Chris and I are very excited for, and don't know why he said yes, but we'll fucking take it. Oh lordy. Anyway, I'm gonna have to pop off here. Facebook user, I'll reach out to you here shortly. So, anyway, that's all I gotta say. Much love. Take care. See you on the shows.